everybody. We're as concerned as everyone about social distancing and being safe during this pandemic. We are more than 6 feet apart, and we are outside in the fresh air, and we both have our masks on, right, Dante?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. But for today's video, we're going to put these aside so that you can hear us clearly. We're at M Service with the owner, Dante Paulazzo. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Trevor, for coming out, and I'm honored to be part of this.
What is your special sauce? What is the one thing that you do differently here?
Our special sauce is when the customer's here, they're our only focus. We make them feel like they're the only customer that's here that day. We're a small, independent shop that runs like a big corporation. We have structure, we have policies, we have procedures. We market it as a full-service automotive care facility, for you and your car. We always have you come first. So now we have 2 service advisors, me and Scott. We have a full-time parts guy, Ken, and we have 4.5 technicians. Our name, M Service, we get a lot of phone calls asking if we only work on M cars, if that's all we do, is just right. M cars only.
Interesting.
Do we work on Mazdas? Do we work on Mitsubishis? We get all kinds of different phone calls. Honestly, the biggest challenge was moving up from a technician to a business owner, making estimates and telling them why they need what they need to fix their car in terms and language that the customer understands, not as a technician. And that's really one of the things I think I'm very skilled at.
And so what was the biggest transition you had to make?
The biggest thing I did is I enrolled in business training, and I had a coach. And that business training was Educational Seminars Institute. They showed me everything it takes to run a business from the moment you open the door in the morning and when you close the door at the end of the day.
Tell me how M Service came to be.
Okay, so I actually started working at a shop in Berkeley called H-Beck BMW. Well, Alan Hardy and Hans Beck split up, and I got a job for Hans Beck when I was in high school because I wanted to buy a car. And
I can't tell you how often I hear that story about people who got into our industry because they wanted to make enough money to buy a car.
And then Hans and Donald opened a second shop over the years out here in Walnut Creek, and it was also called H-Beck. It was very tough to get the market going. At times I'd be the only person there as a technician and running the shop. And Donald was more of a silent partner. So Donald and Hans split up. I ended up coming with the Walnut Creek shop, and then Donald, who was my partner, changed the name to M Service. And then I was the lead tech at that shop for years, and then Donald gave me the opportunity to run the shop for a year. I ran it for a year, and if I did a good job, I became partner. So after a year, I became partner with Donald.
I gave him an ultimatum. I really wanted to run and own my own shop, and so in return, he said, "Prove it to me, you've got a year."
Yeah, I was a little bit of a know-it-all, I guess, and pretty aggressive, and just thought that I could do a better job. And Donald actually was a very good partner and really mentored me through those years and gave me the opportunity to be where I'm at today.
What's the biggest challenge you're facing here in your shop today? It's clearly not a lack of business.
The biggest challenge in our business before even the pandemic has always been technicians. A technician can do everything. They can do mechanics, they can do engines, they can do mechanical, they can do hydraulics, they know electrical, they know computers. These cars are basically rolling server farms now. They know computers, they know programming, they know welding, so everybody's after them. They're probably one of the most talented people I know, and I'm proud to be a technician because of that. Yeah, I would like to change the school system. I don't like the fact that a person at 18, 19, when you graduate high school, that you're separated. You're either blue collar or white collar. You got to decide, am I going to go to a trade school or am I going to go to a 4-year college? I think it should all be under one roof, because the person doing the trade, if he eventually wants his own business, he needs that college education on how to run a business and how finances work and how the world works and how the big picture works, so you can have a successful business.
What are a couple of the key metrics that you feel are absolutely most important when you're tracking the financial health of your business?
I really track my technicians' efficiency and our service advisors. The one I like to watch a lot is hours worked per RO, and I have a number that I like to see it around, and that's when things all fall into place. But what's your effective labor rate? You know, you could have a labor rate of whatever, and you're never going to actually see that per hour if you're not efficient. So efficiency and organization makes productivity. With the shop we have and the people we have and the financial goals I want to achieve, that's how I set my rates.
Think about your clientele and you think about social media. Does that play into your marketing at all?
Yeah, and we're at that point. I'm kind of at that point. The business has been around for over 30 years now. As the brands grew, they make all kinds of cars now. They make the entry-level car to the still most expensive car. Our demographics of our customers were more of they're getting older now. They're more of the higher end, and they're, you know, a lot of them are, and now that the car is affordable to more people, we have a younger base that's coming in, and to get that younger base in, we need the social media.
I know that you're part of the Bosch Car Service program.
Yes.
What are some of the benefits that program delivers to your shop and to you?
Networking for number one. The shops around the country that are Bosch shops. We go to the Bosch meetings once a year. We meet you get to face and talk over the same thing that our shops have, but it's the support system. It's getting the parts that you need for these cars, the factory quality parts, and it's having that able to warranty is really important. You know, if we have to warranty something, if we have a customer that's out on the road and they need something warranted, it's fully covered. Peace of mind and support with Bosch and information. You know, technical training and wiring diagrams, and yeah, I'm happy to be a part of that. Absolutely.
What's your prediction for the industry over the next year or 2 years?
Mostly everything's going to electric and hybrid, so we've been tooling up for that as far as classes and equipment because we see that as the future. We're doing a lot of that through SSF with our training and their classes that they offer, because it's all factory training.
Right.
And the equipment that we have factory diagnostic equipment, which is updated constantly. I mean, probably one of the biggest expenses of a shop now compared to 15 years ago is the training, the computers, the equipment we have to talk to these new cars, and the subscriptions that make the computers work. Those are kind of the big three.
Well, we appreciate the plug for SSF. That's nice of you to say that. I didn't pay him for that, by the way.
I see nothing but growth. I said we're in the catbird seat right now as far as I see it, and my thought is that because of what's happened, this pandemic and the COVID, and we don't know when we're going to have a cure for it, I think people are going to be driving their cars as their personal isolation bubbles for safety. I think that's going to be good for our industry. It's going to put people back in the cars, which will more work for us. Fuel is cheap, even though it went up a little bit recently, but fuel's cheap.
Right.
So I just see everything as kind of a win-win in the direction that we're headed right now. I think it's going to be a very good industry to be in.
Nice.